I remember one time, Ballin. What's Ballin's first name? He's a very good content creator. Mr. Ballin. What's his first name?
Jonathan.
John Ballin. Yeah, real nice guy. And they were doing something in Dallas that was for high-level guys, paratroopers, Ranger, Green Beret, Black. Everybody was, somebody. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm air assault or I'm airborne. No, it was like you did something, right? And you're in a room, you look at everybody. Everybody looks like a stud. Like literally, everybody in the room looks like an absolute stud. Like people you'd want to hire, right? But everybody was also dealing with an element of PTSD, okay, when you get now trying to disconnect from it. That high you're talking about in Jeremy Renner in Hurt Locker, right? And you're getting out and you're like, oh my God, you're going to switch, all that stuff. You're getting back. I want it again. I want the next rush. I want the next rush. When my friend was ETSing and getting out after his 20 years, there was a moment he and I had to have a conversation together. It's like, hey, man, I really need to talk to you. Boom, what's going on? I don't know what to do. It's like, Pat, it's a real thing. And by the way, this is not a guy that would ever complain about anything. This is a G. This is a legit, real guy. This is not a, but he says, I'm telling you, I'm going through, some weird thoughts of me trying to make this transition. How hard is that? How long does it take? Does it ever get to a point where you're so disconnected that you now moved on? And is there a mechanism on how to disconnect from, because, when you look at sports, historically, when a guy was a professional bodybuilder or a professional athlete, I don't know what the statistic is, but it's pretty high. The moment they retire, they get a divorce because now the enemy becomes the wife. You're coming and seeing her more and more and more, right? And they don't know what to do, the ETSing part. PTSD. How do you deal with that when you're leaving after you're done with your 17 years?
I mean, I think any transition in the military is extremely tough. We were fortunate or unfortunate enough to be doing our military transition in the middle of COVID. You leave an environment that you've known so well, and it's a new introduction to the world as a civilian. Everything from your schedule, choice. I mean, imagine doing something for 20 years. Now you have to go reinvent yourself. You have 3 little ones. You got an ex-wife, a new wife, and none of your family's around. What am I going to do? I graduated high school 20 years ago. And just the uncertainties, the accountability to your family, not knowing. There are some great programs out there that are really helping veterans transition and get exposure professionally. And there's a lot of really, really smart people that can add value completely outside of the industry that we're in. But it's a mentorship and showing those individuals you can have a great life afterwards. But it's extremely challenging. The PTSD, being around groups, being in front of people. I mean, this, like we avoided cameras, we avoided social media, and now all of a sudden it's like, I got to be normal in front of cameras. I mean, that's the scariest thing right there.
Is it though?
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't natural. The natural thing was to avoid it. And luckily, we had each other going through it in the transition, and it wasn't easy for us with everything we had going on. There are some different treatments that have definitely helped. We did the psychedelic treatment down in Mexico through vets, and that was a great reset. I think both of us, it saved both of our lives going down there and doing it. It was a really good eye-opening reset. But having a good community and support network around you is key. And we were always confident in our abilities, put our heads together and not having to reinvent ourselves, being able to pass on our knowledge and what we're passionate about and our experiences on to the next generation. So you didn't have to learn the same lessons we did in blood. We wanted to pass on that knowledge. I mean, that was something that bugged us sometimes. Different teams would do ops and they would go well or bad, but nobody would talk about it. They wouldn't pass on the knowledge. And we really wanted to do that, kind of going through that and doing that. Nobody would talk about emotions. No one would be like, hey, like I'm going through a nasty divorce or we're going through a low point. We started talking about it. DJ's way better than me about talking about it. But addressing those kind of topics that nobody ever talked about. And the amount of people that gave a reaction of, I felt alone. I felt like I was the only one going through this. Pretty much any experience in any life, outside of probably a few, so many people have gone through it. So many people go through it afterwards. But being able to talk about it, that's been a huge kind of key thing in realizing that you're not alone. And everybody has low days, high days, just managing them.
DJ, what would you say?
I'd say that transition is so much harder than everybody makes it seem. You get these guys that get out and like, oh my God, when you get out, every job's going to pay you $350,000 a year. They just want you to sit around. They're just going to pay you because of who you. And then people get out, and those jobs aren't there. That's not a real thing. And then you've left the only thing you've known, the only thing you've ever loved. You've left it. And on a Tuesday, you're out of the group chat. There's no email. There's no body armor to put on. There's no one who needs you, really. And you haven't built a relationship with your family. And now you're stuck with them. I use Tom Brady as an example. Tom Brady's a Navy SEAL. You did that one thing at full capacity the entire time. The moment you left it, you're like, I can't leave it. She's like, you have to leave. You have to retire. Nope. Gets a divorce. Can't do it. Can't get off the train. Cannot do it. If you don't think Tom Brady laid in a fetal position and cried after he fully retired, I promise you he did. Everybody does it. Some of the darkest moments have just been just leaving it. In the moment you're out, man, I don't know how to do anything else. I feel like I'm empty. I don't have anything. That's what we talk about when I tell guys now, like, my physical fitness, my mental health are really at the forefront of my priorities. I wake up in the morning and that's what I knock out first because that gives me the bandwidth to take on everything else throughout the day. I feel like a lot of people lose that. They leave the military. You've been on the same structured routine. I don't care if you're on an 82nd Airborne, some SF team, a SWAT team. You've been doing the same thing the entire time. You wake up, you go do PT, you eat breakfast, you go upstairs, meeting, training, deploying, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing. If you just keep that first morning routine the same, it feels so familiar that now between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., you can do whatever you need to now because my first morning, it feels so repetitive. It feels like I've been doing it my entire life. I wake up the exact same time I did when I was in. I do the same fitness, hang around with the same people, same protein shake, same 20-minute walk, same everything. So the first part of my morning, it feels like I'm still in the team. I mean, we're surrounded by nothing but team guys now. It feels the same.
What percentage of your employees are former vets?
With training former vets.
Like 35, 40% or so.
Training cadre, I mean, they're all team guys.
By the way, when you get out, like I remember how much money I got out with, but I wasn't in there for 17 years. I was there for 2.5 years. When the average SEAL gets out, how much money do they have in a bank?
Well, it depends because we got medically retired. That becomes an issue that no one ever gets you prepped for. So we'll say, E7 in the SEAL teams, I'll say you make $90,000 a year, everything all in. As soon as you start that medical retirement board, they take away all your special pays, dive pay, jump pay, demo pay, hazardous duty, AIP. You lose it all. And depending on how messed up you are and how long that whole process takes, you go to 50% of your pay. So for me, when I started that medical retirement, it took about a year. So I have to bridge that with all my savings. So when I retired, like when I got it, I got electrocuted right before I retired. So now I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. I mean, I'm laying on the bed in double slings, can't make any money, and I've ate up every ounce of my money market, every ounce of savings. Put the kids through private school because nothing changes. Now I just don't have the income. And now physically I can't make it. That's where everybody hits rock bottom. Now you feel like a total failure. Like I've done this one thing, I've sacrificed so much for this
your
one
wife
job.
deserves a medal, bro.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
I put her through absolute hell. Absolute hell. Yeah, me and her story is, yeah.
Wow.
It's not a Hallmark movie, but.
It's not a Hallmark movie.
Hey, what's going on, guys? DJ Shipley and Cole Fackler from GBRS Group. I want to talk to you real quick about my neck.
Retired Navy SEALs, entrepreneurs, and co-founders of GBRS Group.
Cover everything from flat range shooting, mental health, mental resiliency, physical education, anything you guys really want to drop into. Search us on Connect, find us on there, and I'd love to connect with you guys.
Look forward to hearing from you.
Appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.